This didn't happen. I'm going to read that again.
One more time.
Because of false prophets who come... Wait.
Do we need to start all over?
Please.
Okay.
Come on, because it was good for you to have that practice. Plus, I didn't really like my face as I looked at the people.
All right. Hi, welcome back to Holy Chit Chat. My name is Sabrina, and with me is Deidre. Hi, Deidre.
Hey.
Welcome back for Chapter 7, Part 2.
Yes. Yeah.
So if you're with us for Part 1, we went over judging others.
That was great fun.
It was really fun. And a few other things in sheep people. It just keeps coming up.
Yeah.
But let's jump into a tree and its fruit.
Okay, sounds good. This is verse number 15. Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. You will recognize them by their fruits. Our grapes. What is wrong?
Listen, just
would you just edit stuff out? You know how I used to tell people to get a grip?
Get a grape.
Well, my son used to say get a grape. That's for you, Sammy. Okay, so I'm starting again. You will recognize them by their fruits. Are grapes gathered from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? So every healthy tree bears good fruit, but the diseased tree bears bad fruit. A healthy tree cannot bear bad fruit, nor can a diseased tree bear good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Thus you will recognize them by their fruits.
Thrown in the fire.
So hell? Fruit.
Hell?
What? Thrown into the fire?
Yeah. Hell?
Well, maybe eventually.
Right?
But if we're looking at it simply just from the standpoint of trees and how you take care of trees and things like that, if a tree is, they're going to just burn the tree.
But it makes me think of hell.
It does
and
as well.
It's kind of scary.
So who are the false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing but are inwardly are ravenous wolves?
I mean, we can...
That's kind of scary.
Do we need to name names? I don't think so. Anyway, sorry.
Okay.
It is scary because, I mean, we've all seen the fairy tales growing up and everything that they put on this, like, you don't know.
Like Little Red Riding Hood?
Mm-hmm. Grandma, what big ears do you have?
Or even the old lady from Snow White.
Yeah. There's a lot of depictions of evil in various movies, but coming across as being totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little scary. Okay, but if Jesus is saying beware of false prophets, then he's saying there's going to be these people.
It's going to continue.
This is a warning. This is
not just going to go away.
Right. This is happening now. And it's probably going to continue to happen to be ready, and talking about recognizing them by their fruits, because that does make sense. It's like what people do eventually shows, 100%. Or what they think how they actually are
100%.
Eventually will show in that.
They can't put on this act forever.
Right. And I think we were talking too about how easy it is to align yourself, or how it could be easy to align yourself with bad trees.
Well, yeah.
And having bad fruit. So it's
one that can just leech on and spread.
Right. Because we were talking about like tomatoes and grapes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And saying that it's like if you have like a bunch of tomatoes and you have one tomato that's going bad in that bunch and you don't realize it, and maybe you don't realize it because it's hidden under the good tomatoes.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, all your tomatoes are trash.
And it goes for grapes.
Yeah, it goes for grapes.
I think another way to look at that
tomatoes
too.
And grapes in my Bible.
I think another way to look at that too is that a bad fruit doesn't necessarily look bad or taste bad, but it could react badly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some of them have a much slower burn.
Mm-hmm. Which is still scary to think.
I'd say that's scarier.
That's what I'm saying. It's
still, that is scarier.
Of just... Oof.
Yeah. So that's quite a warning. And this is also like one of those things that we were talking about where it feels like it's like the messages are coming short kind of a thing, but I'm sure that they're tying together. So I'm going to go ahead and go on if we're good with that. So not everyone, this is in verse 21, and this is hard. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. On that day, many will say to me, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name and cast out demons in your name and do many mighty works in your name? And then will I declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of lawlessness. I don't know. Even every time I read that, it's like, I know what Jesus did for me.
Mm-hmm.
I know it and I trust it. But just the thought that there could be some small bit that would make it not quite like that. It's like, so we were talking about, like, how do I know that Jesus knows me?
I think the fact that you're asking that question.
Yeah.
Because, like, it gets, like, this, that verse, like, in 21, not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven. That, like, to me, that's because it goes back to what we see someone we don't see their heart. God sees their heart. So, like, they could put on and check the boxes every day of, like, this is how I should be, but deep down, if that's not what they're feeling, so they could be there saying, Lord, Lord, doing what they're supposed to, but not doing that as because that's what we're supposed to be doing.
Right. Just doing the actions.
Doing the actions and not feeling it, not being...
That you don't have the relationship.
Yeah, that to me, not... oh, boy.
Which will never enter the kingdom of heaven.
Coming hot off of judgment here, but... it makes me kind of think of the people that we've all heard it, I'm sure, where it's like, yeah, I believe in God, I'm just not so sure about the Bible or this or that or whatever. And say, well, I think you believe there is a God. I'm not sure that you believe
in the Trinity,
in the God of the Bible.
Yeah.
People that say that they believe in God, but they don't necessarily believe the Bible.
Yeah.
I've encountered a lot of people like that.
As have I.
It's really interesting. That's like a good alpha question, which we'll talk about later. Alpha, that is. But yeah, that's interesting because it's like it's almost the same kind of thing. How can you know God and believe in God but not believe in His Word? How could you read His Word and truly like seeking to know Him and then not believe that there's a God? It's kind of, but again, I do think this, it's like when we're living our lives and we're connected to God in some fashion or another, that we have an ongoing relationship, we're part of the body of Christ, we have, we're doing studies, we're praying, we're doing all of those community type things. It's hard sometimes to stop and go, what would that be like to think in that way? Because that's a disconnect, I think. But if you have different thoughts, viewers of ours, please comment below, because I would love to understand a little bit more of that concept of things. And I think part of it, though, too, for me, it's like, so I grew up going to church, like forever and ever. And so it was not foreign to me to believe in God or the Holy Spirit or Jesus, because that was just, it was just where we are. It's just what we did. But for somebody that doesn't grow up that way, I can see that it would be a disconnect. And you would get to there. But
for me, I had kind of a similar experience in that I grew up in the church, but it's like I grew up believing in God and all that, but there was no relationship because for the way it felt and kind of operated in my head, it was kind of up there with someone saying, well, there's a Great Wall in China. It's like, oh, okay, great. But that doesn't really mean anything to me right now. I just kind of know it's there.
I think, too, it's like, so I was thinking about this as we were like kind of unpacking it again. It's like, so you can do good things for someone and the person will never know you. Right? So you don't have a relationship that way. I mean, you can do all the good things, and you can even do the good things saying, I'm doing these things for this, but the person's never going to know you. I'm thinking how they would relate to this. So it's like you can do something for, the king and say, in the king's name, I'm doing this good thing. And it is a good thing, and good things come from it. But the king will be like,
Who was that? They did what?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. No, I don't know them. Huh. Okay.
Also speaks to how our actions aren't what earn us any of this.
Right. Right. It's a relationship. It is the relationship. That is so good. All right, let's go to the next one. So this is build your house on the rock. Everyone then who hears these words of mine and does them will be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain fell and the floods came and the winds blew and beat on that house, but it did not fall because it had been founded on the rock. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat against that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it.
There's that rock and foundation again.
Yeah. We'll see that again. That whole rock and foundation thing. But again, that's what this is. What
like it. I mean, I feel like out of some of the things that Jesus is saying, this is pretty clear.
Yeah, because it's like if you do these things, then you're going to have a firm foundation and you'll be able to withstand. And if you don't do these things, you're not going to have a firm foundation and you're going to fall.
Where have we seen that as a kid? The Three Little Pigs. And there's the pigs again.
I was not expecting that. That's true.
I mean?
Yeah.
Straw and hay and sticks and it's not a good foundation, but boy, that brick and rock house, and he huffed and he puffed and he could not blow it down.
And again, I just feel like it's like he's giving these words to his disciples and to the crowd that's listening, right? And it's kind of like, okay, so you guys beware of false prophets. And then guess what? There's going to be people like this. And I'm telling you to build your house upon a rock. Because if you don't, bad things are going to happen.
On the foundation of our word,
of the word of Jesus. Yeah. Everyone that hears these words of mine and does them.
Yep. Will be like wise men who build his house.
It's not that the doing, like Mystery Man said, it's not that the doing is what gives you that salvation. It's the relationship is. And who the foundation is.
Yep.
That is so good.
And it's got to do with too, in doing it, it'll again it orients you towards God.
Yeah.
It's not that the actions actually earn you anything, but they help you in getting where you need to be in order to receive the gift.
And it's part of the fruit again, in a sense. It's like the fact that it'll stand is because it's connected to the firm foundation. The good fruit is coming from the good tree.
Yep.
All of those kind of things. All right, let's scoot on to this next part. So, and when Jesus finished these sayings, the crowds were astonished at his teaching, for he was teaching them as one who had authority and not as their scribes.
Also, could you imagine? Because we've talked about this, there's got to be something, when God or an angel has come, there has to be something that these people are just
recognizing holiness. Yeah.
And he's up there, and I mean, it says it he had the authority, not as the scribes. He wasn't just another teacher up there talking or who's recorded stuff. He's up there and he is captivating these people. They are listening. They are recognizing, I need to listen to this. These are words I need to listen to. Which is crazy because what's to come with some of the disciples, it's just how much more do you want me to do? But you were listening I had authority just over there.
You can't judge the disciples.
He told me that in the last video.
Don't judge them. But I do think it's interesting because to me it's but the fact that they were astonished at his teaching means that the teaching that they had been getting was not all that.
It was not all that.
Right?
No.
Or that
consider too how often they were hearing someone teach And everyone that they ever heard teach was referring back to the old prophets constantly. There was no there was nothing really new under the sun until Jesus.
Were any of those old, like, going back to those, like, I feel like he's...
Sorry, I guess I should say until John the Baptist. He was saying some pretty wild stuff in comparison to everyone else.
But, like, with him, I feel like there's
But even John the Baptist was always referencing Isaiah.
Yes. But I feel like there's love here. Were they getting that from...
Oh, no, that's a good question. Because a lot...
anyone else teaching them? You know what I mean?
Right. Because I mean, so within the prophets, and I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. So within the prophets, there's a lot of prophecy or a lot of prophets that are speaking danger, danger, danger kind of stuff. And because you did this, this is not what's happening. Because you did this, this is not what's happening. Which makes me think
when I was a kid, if you do this, you want the devil to come up and reach through the ground. Like, I got that as a kid and pull you under. Like, that was a...
Okay, so let me just clarify this right now. The devil cannot reach up through the ground and pull you under.
I know, but as a little kid, that's what we were threatened with.
You belong to Jesus.
That's what we were threatened with.
Oh, the things that we were threatened with as children.
I know.
That's a terrifying thing to be threatened with. Mine was telling my kids, God knows.
That's terrifying, Deidre. Sorry, like, oh my goodness.
Okay, I wasn't a perfect parent, okay? Let me just say that. And yes, my children can comment on this video. But if, like, they were lying to me.
Well, that was like lying. Do you
want the devil to come up me, I would say, you know,
burn forever?
God knows.
Yeah.
And then I would just leave it at that.
That would scare me more than...
The devil?
Yeah.
Coming up through the ground?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really not that surprising.
Wait, that I'm more scared of that? Wait, what are you? Mystery Man, stay in your corner.
Okay. He's not really in the corner, by the way.
Teacher's being nice.
I'm trying to be nice. So this is the end of the Sermon on the Mount.
It is.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's been ending that. Yeah.
The authority thing.
Yeah. It's just like they know that he has it. Mm-hmm. And I still just think it's like, you know, got the scribes and it's like, it's not the scribes. And the scribes are like,
being like,
what?
Man, you know, and they stop calling me out, please, buddy?
Right. And they knew this, but I would also think too, so it's kind of like that thing. It's like, you could be sitting under a certain kind of teaching, like all of your life, right? And think, this is teaching, you know, and even you might even think this is good teaching. Right? Or that there's benefit to it. But then when you start to come under teaching that is just more authoritative, just connects more, that has a lot of stuff to back it up, you can tell a difference between teaching. Mm-hmm. You know, there have been people that I've talked to that have said, you know, that they were going to church at this one particular place and, you know, and they really loved it and things like that. But for some reason they moved or whatever it was, and they're looking for a new church. And when they come to whatever the new church is, and they're like, wow, the teaching is like spectacular. And they had no idea that there could be teaching like that. And in the same way, if you've been in a situation where you've had really good teaching and then you go someplace that you're like,
hold on.
Wow, that is like not helping me at all, you know, kind of a thing. So I think that is just a very prevalent thing, even that we still deal with today. So any last thoughts on this?
No, I think we can wrap that up. And
all right. That was fun.
That's chapter 7, guys.
It's hard to look at some of this stuff.
It is. But I love Matthew.
I do love Matthew. We love Matthew.
We do.
Yeah.
But like, follow, share, comment, give us some feedback.
Yeah.
Love to hear from you guys. And come back for chapter 8.
See you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.